everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gemma and I create weekly art content, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at watercolours. I'm going to look at 3 really easy beginner techniques so that you can create a painting similar to this one. There's also the bonus of the embossing powders within this video so that you can get that nice metallic shine to your painting. So make sure you watch all the way through so you don't miss that technique. Okay, let's get started. I have already prepped my watercolour paper onto a board and I'm using a 350 GSM watercolour paper. If you would be interested in a video on how to stretch watercolour paper, let me know in the comments section. I have also pre-marked out the dimensions of where I want my quote to sit. I equally spaced out lines for my calligraphy style writing. I'm using the lyrics "Home is wherever I'm with you" as they're from the song my husband and I danced to for our first dance at our wedding. I'm going to mark out my typography first using a light pressure, making sure each word fits within the marked spacing. I adjust any mistakes with a kneaded eraser, and once I am happy that the typography is correct, I extend the lines of each letter to increase the weight, making the lettering look like calligraphy. This is to prep the work for the next step of the watercolour painting. The first watercolour technique I'm going to work on and show you is masking fluid. It's a great technique to experiment with as it blocks out any areas of your paper you would like to remain clear of paint. I bought this Solo Goya masking fluid pen from Amazon. It's the very first time I'm using it, so you will get to see my very first impressions. To start this process, I'm going to fill inside the typography, which is why I gave it that extra weight to expand the size of it. The watercolour masking fluid flows out of the pen fairly easily. To increase the flow of the pen, I press the nib down on an area of the board that I'm not going to work on to make sure that it doesn't pull onto my working area. I have found that the masking fluid dries fairly quickly on the paper, which is good as it will allow me to get onto the watercolour sooner. However, it also dries very quickly on the nib, leaving little bubbles of masking fluid on my paper, which is a little frustrating. I had to keep wiping the nib in between filling in my typography. Overall, it was really easy to control in the pen format. I liked the grip and the blue tone of the masking fluid. It made it easy to see where I had already worked. Okay, so now moving on to our watercolour painting, and I'm going to prep my working area with a light layer of clean water. This is to prepare the paper for the next technique that I am going to show you. Be careful not to saturate your paper with water. We only want a light wash across. Try to avoid pools of water forming. I'm going to let that dry slightly whilst I mix a pink to create a background wash. For this video I'm using a student grade watercolour palette. They're cheap and accessible for beginners, and I will add a link for the palette in the description box. Now notice how that pink wash is gliding over the masking fluid in this section. It's doing its job well to protect the paper underneath from absorbing that pink. I've completed my watercolour wash, and up next is the wet in wet method. I think this is a great technique for beginners to experiment with, as you can get some great abstract results and it's good for backgrounds too. I wouldn't recommend this technique for high detailed areas of work though, as the wet medium blends together and starts to bleed into one another. the lines become blurred, however they can create some really interesting forms. I'm going to concentrate on pinks and blues for this piece and introduce some stronger hues as the piece progresses. I'm aiming for some intense areas of pigmentation so that I can experiment for the next technique I'm going to show you. But before I move on to that next technique, I'm going to continue adding that wet and wet method onto my painting. I'm going to add in darker hues so that they really start to blend together. In a few areas on my painting, I had accidentally left in some bigger pools of water, so you can see some pooling in the bottom section of the painting. However, I'm going to correct that with the next technique that I'm going to use, so make sure you keep watching to see how I fix that area. One of the ways that you can avoid this though is by allowing your paints to dry slightly before adding more paint to your page, because obviously the more paint you're adding, the more water you're including onto your paper. The next technique is the salt technique, and I'm going to use coarse sea salt and table salt. I'm going to sprinkle the salt in the areas of the paint that are still wet and have a high concentration of pigment. The salt will draw in any moisture from the watercolour and create a really interesting organic pattern with a darker line around where the salt was sitting. I will show you a close-up of the finished salt technique later in the video, so make sure you keep watching. My painting is now fully dried and I can remove that masking fluid. I have used a piece of kitchen towel, but you could use a sponge or an eraser designed for masking fluid. I would avoid using your finger or nail, as you could indent your paper if you peel it off in that way. I'm pressing down fairly hard to remove my masking fluid, but it does peel off quite easily. However, it does leave the slightest blue tone on my paper. So I have shown you how to mask watercolours, the wet and wet technique, and painting with salt. I've got one last process that I want to use on my painting, and that's embossing. And I think it will finish the piece off really well. I have a double-ended clear embossing pen with a pointed and a chiselled nib. I'll be using it with a Paper Mania embossing powder in tinsel gold. To create the embossed finish, I follow along any lines within my painting where there is a transition between a light and a dark shade, as I think it looks almost like a marble in the painting. I use the pointed end of the pen to draw in a line that follows the paint. Once I've drawn in my line, I then cover the area with the embossing powder and sprinkle off any excess. I have found that you need to do this fairly soon after adding in your pen, as it can dry quite quickly. To set the embossing powder, I use a heat gun. This fuses the powder to the paper and it gives the powder a metallic finish. I pour off all of my excess powder back into the pot. Now we will take a closer look at the salt technique and the gold embossing. As you can see, the salt leaves a pattern around where it sat, and it draws a dark pigment to the area and leaves the centre lighter. The embossing has a nice glitter shine to it, and I think it finishes off the piece really well. Okay, so there you have it. That was our watercolour painting using those 3 easy beginner techniques. I enjoy using that salt technique as I like the irregular patterns that it can create, and I don't think I would have been able to achieve that using another watercolour technique. I also really enjoyed using the masking fluid. I think it's a good product, especially if you are watercolour painting on the go, as it's so small and compact. And lastly, I really enjoyed using the embossing powders, as I think that metallic gold just brings my piece together. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. If you've got any ideas on what you would like to see in future tutorials, please let me know in the comments section below, and I will see you next week. Bye!